I'm Jodi Case with Mobilizing Literacy, and I'm here with Dehlia at the David Traylor Zoo. And Dehlia, we have our face masks on today for a really important reason. You want to tell us why before we get started?
Yeah, so here in the zoo, we have some animals that are unfortunately susceptible to COVID. The animals that are susceptible happen to be a lot of our endangered species that we have here. So for example, the lemurs, the cotton-top tamarins, even the zoo's favorite flint would be susceptible to COVID. So we're just using these as a precaution so that we can keep our animals as safe and as healthy as possible.
Well, thank you for letting us know that, because it's kind of maybe hard for us to hear and we may sound like we're shouting, but it's probably because we kind of are trying to project our voices. So with that, I want you to know that we are over here in a really special exhibit area at the David Traylor Zoo. You're going to see something back behind me that reminds me of a story character from The Ugly Duckling. Can you guess what it might be? I think it could be swans!
Swans, yes.
But they're a different color.
They are a different color. So there are actually 7 species of swans. Yeah, so for the fairy tale, The Ugly Duckling,
yes,
that was actually based off of one of the species called a mute swan.
Oh my gosh, and that's in the book that we're giving out to everybody.
It is. So you guys will get to learn a little bit about that particular swan. But the ones behind us, they, believe it or not, are called Black Swans.
Wow, where did they come from?
They are native to Australia.
Not even in the United States of America?
Not even in the same continent.
Oh my gosh, well why do you have them here? We have only 2, right?
Yeah, so here at the zoo we have 2 of the species of or 2 of the 7 species of swans. We have the trumpeter swans, which normally are right there in the front entrance, but right now due to the construction, they're back in folding. They're the ones that get really loud and have that awesome trumpet sound. These guys back here, there are black swans. We have these, and again, it's just kind of a neat way to show that there are different species. A lot of people, I don't think, are aware that there are 7 different types.
Well, and these are very different because you're going to notice that the beak is red on them, and my gosh, they have looks like a racing stripe on both sides of their body near their wings, and then they've got this ruffly thing.
Yeah, it almost looks like lace, or
Yeah.
it's very, very pretty plumage. It's special just to them. Other swans don't have that ruffling on their feathers. Jodi mentioned that their beak is red, but if you get a really good close look at them, their eyes are also red.
She's right. They are. Oh my gosh. Now, we learned about Beyonce and how she molts. So, can you tell us, do these swans molt too?
Yeah, so they're going to do just like what Beyonce and Buster do, and a lot of the other birds here. They're going to molt here in the fall in order to get ready for the cold winter.
Okay. And I'm just curious. They have got this really long neck, and there must be lots of bones that keep and structure that neck the way it is. So,
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
So they actually have 25 vertebrae in their neck. We have 7. We learned that Beyonce has 14. These guys have 25. And so it just kind of, that allows for that long, graceful neck. So that's very, very special to them.
And they make a funny sound too. They have, they don't have a screechy sound, but almost sounds like a horn.
It's kind of like a honk. Yes. Yeah. It's not as big as the trumpeter swan that sounds like its namesake, but it definitely has a different like honking sound to it.
And I'm just curious, how old will these swans live?
These guys will probably live to be about 30 years old in the wild. Since they're in captivity, they could be alive a lot longer.
Okay. Well, this is so interesting to me. I know that the David Traylor Zoo's hours are a little bit modified right now, so if they wanted to see the zoo exhibits still yet this fall, could they still come and do that?
Yeah, the zoo is open Monday through Sunday from 10 until 4:30. So they'll be able to come out. You guys can come out and enjoy the zoo. Some of our exhibits are off. Some of our animals are off exhibit due to the construction. But hopefully this phase will be done soon, and then those animals can come back out.
And are masks required when people come in to look at the zoo animal exhibits? Are masks required?
So they are not required. We highly suggest them. You know, we are outside, but again, we highly suggest them just to kind of help keep our animals healthy, especially the ones that are endangered, which are the ones that are unfortunately susceptible to COVID-19.
Well, I have one last question about the swans, Dehlia. So I know that a lot of times birds, we call them a wingspan. So that means when their wings spread out from one tip to the other on the other side. What about these guys and their wingspan?
So their wingspan can actually be up almost to 8 feet. So they've got a pretty big wingspan.
Wow.
The trumpeter swans that we have, they can actually sometimes go up to 10 feet in the wingspan. Our trumpeter swans, which unfortunately you're not seeing today because they're off exhibit, they're actually the largest of all of the swans. So they can get up to like 35 pounds. They're about 6 foot long. They're just massive birds.
Well, I know I'm only like 5 feet 4 inches tall, and so their wingspan would be taller than I am from head to toe.
Yeah.
That's how far their wings would be spread out. That's huge.
That is
Amazing.
huge. Yes, yes.
And then they can fly pretty fast, right?
Yes, so they can actually fly up to 60 miles an hour when they're in the sky, and they can go as high as 2 miles up in the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I really am excited about this whole event we're having next week.
I am too.
And why are we doing this again?
We're doing this because we have Party for the Planet next week, which is going to be going on this week when you watch this. And so we're pairing up with Jodi here and mobilizing literacy and helping promote one of her books while we promote the zoo, the animals at the zoo, and Party for the Planet.
Well, I'm really excited, and I'm so thankful that the Emporia Public Library is joining us in this venture, because they're going to be one of the outreach areas for you to get a book any day this week that we are sharing this event at the zoo. And you're welcome to come to the zoo after this live event that we're going to be having on Friday to share with you the books as well. So we're excited. Thanks for joining us, and we would love to hear your comments, see your posts, see pictures. If you come to the zoo, post those pictures on the zoo's site and respond to them, because this is such an awesome opportunity for our community. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for watching.
See you later. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the David Traylor Zoo. We just got done learning about swans and some of the other awesome birds that we have at the zoo with Jodi Case this week. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to do a little craft that's in the book we've been talking about all week. And it's really, really neat. It's a swan one. You can use your imagination. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's super simple. You just need to have a paper plate, some glue, some scissors, and that's it. Maybe a pencil so you can outline kind of where you want to cut, and it's going to be super easy. So it's actually in the book on the page that talks about swans, and you have your directions right here as well. When we get to the stickers, they are also provided in your book here. So you'll have some beak and eyes, and then the next page you have some awesome feathers to use with it if you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a regular white paper plate. Here I just kind of outlined where you're going to want to cut. So if you have your scissors and you've got an adult with you, make sure that they know that you're cutting on something. All right. Once that's cut out, it's going to look a little bit like a swan. Okay. So right here is the beautiful long neck, and we talked about how much vertebra they have in their necks. It's just amazing. So that shows off that. And then we have our stickers from the back of the book for our eye and our beak. I also put a little feather sticker right there and kind of colored it in.
And then I got a little wild and crazy and decided that I'd put some feathers that I had here in my craft supply on them. But the cool thing is we've also talked about molting. So a lot of the wild birds outside are molting. Who knows what kind of feathers you might find if you go and look outside. And you can decorate and make your swan any way that you want with feathers that you found outside, or like if you have these crafty type feathers. So again, the only limit is your imagination. All right? Thank you guys. I hope you have fun, and we'll see you soon to pick up books, hopefully.